Hello people, so we have another fun video today with one of my random crazy fun decks. Again, is this meta? No, but obviously there is potential to it because you can obviously alter it whatever way you want. This is just fun, this is cheap, and unique. I wasn't kidding. Super Heavy Samurai, Rescue Ace, and Denko Sekka. Have you ever heard of this before? I highly doubt it. Honestly, even just these two alone, I haven't heard of it. Even Denko Sekka, honestly, this is just such a random combination I thought of that just seemed so fun, so sporadic. I kind of wish I got some of the Rescue Ace monsters sooner, because I know that there is still a boss monster that got up in price. It's still kind of affordable, but I just chose not to in the end. Even though maybe I should have, but either way, I'll move these to the side, and let's first dive into the Super Heavy Samurai focus. So obviously, gotta have the 3 Prodigy, because, yeah, you gotta have your scales, and, you know, great effect for setting everything up. And just honestly, this card kind of helped bring back the whole archetype. Without it, it literally would be nothing. So, yeah, gotta love that. Even though obviously, you know, the deck was hit, but it still can function pretty well and, you know, fun blending in with other things. Then we have Monk. Obviously, you gotta have 3 again, too, because, you know, they're the scales. If you aren't seeing your scales, you're not gonna have a good time. Then we have 3 Motorbike. Then we have 3 Soul Gaia. And then also I have 3 wagons. I also have scales, just not in the deck. I don't know, I feel like I just ultimately feel like I don't need scales, even though obviously it is a great card, but I don't know, maybe I could always add it in the future, but for now I'm just not feeling it. So the Rescue Ace package is pretty thick, honestly, so I could easily take some of it out, but I just like how basically all their effects work, whether they're normal or special summons. So if you have your skills active from Super Heavy, they don't restrict you from, you know, using it for like non-Super Heavy monsters. So it's just really great because a lot of these work to spam the field. So it's kind of a win-win. The only funny thing is, though, I don't know why I thought they would be machines, but they are warrior. But either way, it's just such a fun combination of cards. So we have 3 Impulse, then we have 3 Monitor, and then we have Airlifter, also 3 of, and then we have Fire Attacker, 3 of. I'm pretty sure all of them are 3 ofs, except the very last one you'll see that's different, and I'll explain why, which is kind of obvious. And then I have Fire Engine. Fire Engine is really important in this, because as you can see, he's a level 7. So that's going to play a factor later on, which I felt was, you know, kind of cool and fun. Also, what's great about these is they have a lot of different levels too. So they definitely help with the Super Heavy Samurai synchro combinations, even though a lot of their synchros are really annoying, where they require you to either use a machine, which again, some of these are machines, but some of them are warriors too, and then also some of them restrict you even where they have to be Super Heavy Samurai monsters, which is annoying. And then the only spell cards I'm using are 2 Rescue Aged HQ, just because they do help out, and the great thing is with Denko Sekka, it doesn't affect this because it is face up, so you could always have this going first, and then Denko Sekka. And also, you know, even if you're worried about, you know, any spell removal, first you can set up your Super Heavy Samurai combinations and then go into this. So that's what's great, is you never really need to worry about it, because also, again, it does stay on the field. Because, I don't know, it does vary. If people know you're not doing Labyrinth, they really don't focus on getting rid of cards because they just assume you're less of a threat. And yeah, let's go into Denko Sekka, but obviously there's more than Denko Sekka, so you're wondering, like, what are these other fun combinations I could have as well? So, 3 Denko Sekka, just because really works great with Super Heavy Samurai, because that whole archetype does, focuses on that back row. Obviously, Rescue Ace does have back row in general, but I'm just choosing not to use it for this, just focusing on how they're just a fun, cheap, spam deck, so really works well with the combinations here. Because even if they're not spammed, some of them literally, not spammed, if they're not spammed through pendulum summoning, some of them literally just work where it's like, oh, if you've normal summoned, you get that in special summon. So it's just very easy to flood the field with them. And then also, obviously, for his effect of getting, the spell card, not using that, I just had some extra unicorns. So 2 unicorns, but as you can see, level 7s. So that definitely goes, fun, just because easy special summon, can use the Rescue Ace monsters as well. So easy for that, could be used for synchro. And then also, Mechanical. Look at this, Mechanical Hound. Such an underrated card. I remember this was used in very early, trying to be cheesy pendulum decks. And it really works well in this too, because all your cards, for the most part, you just are easy to get to the field. So it's very easy to have no hand to, and then again, stops only your opponent's spells. So super fun with that. And then the only 2 hand traps are, Ghost Ogre. So, it is what it is. Still wanted to have something in there to, feel a little helpful. And even though, I could show test hands, I don't know if I will necessarily at the end of this, just because for Super Heavy Samurai and a lot of the Rescue Ace, I feel like everyone's seen it. And then the other, engine is just so small that, it's just very easy to see it supplement. So let's dive into the extra deck. And again, like I said, a lot of them still say Super Heavy. So that is annoying, because even though we do have a bunch of Super Heavy Samurai monsters, but, I wish they were less restricted, just because they aren't, like, the most, broken cards anyway. All it is attacking with your defense, which, whatever. Which is still cool and all, just because, it is what it is. But yeah, so we have Ogre, we have Stealth Ninja, we have Sarutobi, and then we have Beast Kyubi, and then we have 2 Warlords, and then also we have 2 Brave Masurao, just because I really do love how he's generic. So he's super easy. Honestly, I think I have a 3rd one, possibly. So I may even put that in a different deck, just because the fact that he's a 4K beat stick that you don't even need to worry about, even though no one is using Lightning Storm right now. But I'm just saying, like, if it ever becomes a focus again, this card literally just is the ultimate way around it. And almost any monster is not attacking over this. And again, even though most of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now is destruction, but, in case somehow they lost all their resources focusing on your other setups, he's phenomenal. I love, Steam Train King's, effect, but again, it's one of those cards that's annoying because you need to rely on Super Heavy, so just only one of that. 1 Unicorn, just because I feel like this deck, if you don't have that many great plays with the Rescue Ace, at least you can go into some link plays. So Unicorn, super simple. Boral Sword, I just love it. And then you could even go into Boral End. So that's the great thing about Nightmare is, usually I will go into Nightmare and then have an option to easily go into Boral End. Sometimes Boral Sword is more tricky because it requires 3 monsters, but, honestly, you still get out so many monsters, so if you just can't use them for a Synchro Summon, there you go. And then also, I have a Rise Heart just because it's so good, even as a 1-of, and then 2 Dracosac. This card is just phenomenal as well. And also, the only annoying thing is, though, I think all of the, the links require them to have effects too, but, it doesn't really matter just because Dracosac is still, to this day, a great card. I'm so happy it's been seeing more play again lately, even though it's still not that much, but it's just such an underrated card. But, yeah, that's been the deck. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, because my whole point is I try to inspire people to just have fun with the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I know not every deck is the most competitive, but that's the great thing about this. If you see something you like, you can be like, oh, that inspires me to do something. Or if you're like, what, I like your idea, but I want to change some things. Yeah, that's great too, because above all, it's just having fun and enjoying the game for what it is. Yeah, because we all grew up as kids, making those random pile decks of just cards we liked. So I'm just trying to, take cards I like, add some synergy, and turn it into something cool and, interesting. So have an awesome rest of the day. Stay happy, stay healthy.